3, 2, 1, go.
All right, guys. So I'm Suf. Number one, I'd say junior year was hell. Okay. I think we all would agree with that. Thank you. Bring it on, everybody. Woo! Okay. Also, for all y'all over there, double science is possible. Okay, do it. Okay, but just don't do Kabir with it, okay? That's my advice. Don't do Kabir, okay? Especially with double sciencing. Don't do Kabir, okay? You have more luck studying just with Muaaz alone, okay? You get your score higher, okay?
You remember that one video we saw in history where there's like the Egyptian reporter telling all the lies about the 6th Day? Don't do Kabirs, my brothers.
Brothers and sisters of humanity. Don't do Kabir.
Hey, I'm Ammar.
And I'm Matthew.
And this is Our Side of the Coin.
Hey guys, welcome back to possibly the last episode of Our Side of the Coin. We brought a few guests in from our class this year. Probably all of these guys have already been on the podcast for the most part before. So we're just going to be wrapping up what junior year was like, some advice for future generations who may be listening, and saying our goodbyes.
From now on, the podcast is on hiatus. To the 3 people listening.
Yeah. Alright, so what do you guys...
No, nobody's listening because we already have them in the room.
I think there's some other people listening. Anyhow, so what do you guys think? Just give me a general sentiment. How was junior year? One word.
Enlightening. Tiring.
Comeback.
Interesting.
Oh, actually, no. Breakout.
Okay.
I kind of like the way Suf described it. It was kind of hellish, not gonna lie.
Nice. What do you mean by breakout on?
Yeah, I want to hear that.
Oh, this was my breakout year.
Is this anywhere?
Breakout year. It was a breakout year.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean by a breakout
That's
year?
what he's trying to say. Okay,
No,
cool.
You don't know what a breakout year is?
Elaborate, man.
Okay, let's say
all the viewers want to know. Okay.
You're a new basketball player and you just came to the NBA maybe 2 years ago, all right? And all of a sudden you have a really, really good season, and that's just like builds up you for the rest of your career. That's a breakout season.
So this year was your breakout season.
This was my
kind of
breakout.
late year to have a breakout season.
Yeah, but that's gonna have a transition to college and medical school.
Oh, got you. So you mean a major breakout year
So
for the rest of your life?
Basically, I was pretty lazy in sophomore year and freshman year.
I think there was just a lot less work to do in sophomore, especially sophomore year.
And it was way easier.
And I definitely worked harder, but I still did perform better this year than I did last year.
Interesting. Because I would say I definitely worked harder this year, but I would say I performed better last year in particular. Like, freshman year was kind of rocky because it was the first year. So that's on the
especially that first semester was a little shaky.
Yeah, especially with Spanish. I did not do well.
With literature for me, but I mean, I fixed it.
But, it's like, sophomore year was... I got into the routine. I knew what was happening, and the workload was pretty easy. So I feel like I did good.
Yeah, it was similar to freshman year, if not less.
This year, there was just so much more work, and there's like a jump in difficulty, like in the curriculum itself.
It was a pretty steep jump as well.
It's interesting to hear that this was the one where your performance went up.
I mean, actually, I would disagree with what you guys said about the jumps and stuff. And actually, I felt like that probably sophomore year. Actually, no, I think freshman, sophomore year, and junior all were about the same level of work for me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I was doing more of the classes I wanted to do and I liked rather than like stupid classes.
All right. Well, I guess a good way to describe this year for me is probably in 2 words: Math HL. Well, that's a word in 2 letters, or technically 3 words. Regardless,
Math HL can't count.
Math higher level.
Yes, IB Math higher level. Interesting wake-up call, because I don't know if it's me or if it's course. I think Matthew and me can debate about this a little bit more later along in the conversation. But that was an interesting course because it introduced mathematical concepts in a new way that you've probably never seen before. A lot more theoretical, a lot more abstract, and it was a lot more solve-it-yourself kind of a deal. And that was definitely a kick in the butt, and that's, I guess, what made me start working a lot harder this year for the main part. The regular other classes, Lit, Spanish, etc., weren't too much of a jump, I don't think. It was just like the sciences and the maths that were a bit of a jump.
How'd your year go, Mo?
The word that I used was enlightening, because junior year kind of showed me that, like, because of the jump in workload, it can get a lot worse. Like, I know that, like, from sophomore to junior year, I know that it's going to get a lot worse in college. It's going to get a lot worse in middle school.
Yeah, that was something I didn't think. I thought I could just keep cruising, and then this year's like kicking the butt. Wake up, man.
I guess they're trying to do that on purpose because college is
Yeah, they're
Where
trying to
that
get
happens.
Yeah, I hear that happens a lot to a lot of freshmen in college
Yeah.
where they don't realize, oh shoot, I can't cruise like I did in high school, and then all of a sudden they're buried under workload and just
for sure.
dying underneath.
It still sucked.
Those kind of showed me that.
I don't know.
Yeah, this season was not fun. I don't know.
Except
I
for
didn't.
ours.
Alhareth seemed like he had a good year.
Something
like,
tells me that this year, I mean, I felt like it was breakout in a lot of different ways, but something tells me that, I mean, why would you say with okay, you did Math HL, I definitely know Math
well,
HL.
it wasn't even
affects-
just Math HL.
Well, like, what about the other class? I mean, I did Math HL in the beginning, definitely now me.
Sciences?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I did
double
all the
science
science,
along
but
with me.
like,
Same
even
classes.
like we had like a double like science, we didn't do that many labs compared to like freshman year.
Right,
I feel like we had like
I think we
10
had,
labs every week
Yeah.
semester.
Because we were so new to it.
Yeah,
they wanted
we
to
weren't
really
used-
shove it down our throats.
So
we,
I'm saying it was more work in that sense. I
I didn't mean I meant like concept wise. We went a lot deeper with the sciences this year. Nice.
Yeah.
A lot deeper this year, and I guess that was new. I don't know. I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I loved the sciences. And math was a little bit of a struggle for me, especially like towards the middle of first semester. This semester I started low, but I knew the deal. You know the deal after a point after you do the class for a semester.
I don't know. I would say that we got more, like, just more assignments this year than freshman year.
Yeah, overall I
That's
think
what
we
I
did.
thought. And then also the assignments were, like, maybe it's true that we had more freshman year, but they were, like, really easy.
Yeah, assignments here were definitely.
They're
Grading was a
and
lot
they
easier,
took,
too.
like, 3 hours this year compared to, like, 30
That's
minutes
so
last
true.
year.
I mean, I went from like 5-page to 8-page labs
Yeah.
to like 20-page labs.
Yeah, and also we've had to deal with all the IB crap. Because technically, freshman and sophomore year, we weren't in IB.
So one interesting question I want to propose, because we have a 2-on-2 here. We have the Math HL dropouts and we have the Math HL stay in. There's-
The opposite.
I can't guess where this question going. Was
So-
it worth it?
Was it worth it? Was it worth staying, and was it worth dropping out? So who wants to start off? We're first.
I can start. I have a pretty good thing about this. So I think all my life I've been humble brag, but not humble brag. But like I've been pretty advanced in math most of my life. I've really liked math most of my life. Been a couple grades ahead, even in middle school. Right, I was doing 10th grade math while everybody was doing 8th
That's
grade math.
just a brag, but...
Not even a humble brag, just a brag. Okay, that's a brag. But my point is, right, I came in, 9th grade was super easy, 10th grade was super easy math-wise. This year came, right, slam into a brick wall, alright? And made me question, am I good at math? Maybe question, am I even a smart person anymore? Maybe question for a lot of stuff about myself. I'm dead serious about that. Like, I question a lot of things about myself if I could persevere as a person. I think getting through, sticking with it, was probably one of the best choices I made this year. Actually, because it showed me, I got the... Alhareth, can you turn off your notification?
Okay, good. Well,
Are you leaving?
I might be. Go, keep going.
Showed me this year, like, if I really want to do something and I really put my mind to it, I can. And I know that sounds really cheesy and like, you know, you hear it all the time. Just put your mind to it. You got this, blah, blah, blah. But I think it really
gotta
helped.
try harder.
And it worked. I'm this serious. For some people, I don't know. But like for me, I try harder. I put like a lot more time until the point where I was just solely eating, living, breathing math for a while in semester 1. And it worked. I got the grade. I got a really high grade, higher than I expected.
Well, number 1, you don't know where your grade is. Well, actually, no.
No, for semester 1, I'm talking.
Oh, okay. Semester 1. So for my
Even semester
1,
2, it's on the same way.
I got slapped in the face also, as we all did.
I think all of us did, yeah.
I have a less positive outlook on Math HL, and that's probably just more successful. Like, I wasn't as successful. I got an average grade.
Average.
Was it worth for a B?
Okay.
Like,
That's
yeah.
a good
That's
grade.
good for HL.
Well, yeah, but
Good.
Yeah.
C is an average.
Well, you gotta remember the class.
was-
Anyway,
was
continue.
it worth it for me? I mean, I really liked the class.
I did like the class.
I learned a lot of things, like just about school in general, but also about math. But I don't know whether I'd say it was worth it because it really like it was like doing like a whole other year alongside doing like, a normal school year. Like if I had not done Math HL, it would have
This year would have been such a cruise.
100 times easier.
This year would have been such a cruise without that.
Yeah.
Even with SATs and everything. And I will bring that up later. SATs are a good
Yeah.
point.
So
We
I don't know.
definitely
I don't
wanna
know
hit.
whether it was worth it. I did learn a lot, but it also cost a lot.
Sure, so
Oh,
we'll go
yeah.
Muaaz and Alhareth.
Dropping out of HL, it was for sure worth it for me because this year, math was so easy. I literally, for a single test, I got an A in the end. It was extremely easy. Yeah, no regrets. If I was still in Math HL, I'd probably have like a C+ at this point. Yeah. Because for me, my math capabilities, I'm between HL and SL2. Like if there's a class in between, I could probably do well.
SL3.
But
SL3.
Yeah, so we actually talked about.
HL.5.
But I chose to go the easy way. And honestly, I've been wondering, like, what does this mean for me? Like, we hear about people who drop out of like pre-med programs because it's really hard for them. Oh, hello. We have an intruder.
Wait, yeah. Let him in, and then we'll start like a little back. What? Yeah, you can be in it.
Yeah, you can hop in if you want. Hey, so the other Ammar... Sorry. Ammar saw that, not to be confused with myself, also hopped in the room, so we'll probably get his opinion on a couple things.
I won't be here for long. I gotta listen.
Okay. So let me go quickly up on my
I wasn't finished.
Oh, you're not finished? Keep going.
So what I was saying was, we hear all these stories about people who drop out of pre-med programs because it's really hard for them. And it made me think about, like, if I drop out of a class like Math HL, what does that mean for me? Will I be dropping out of some pre-med program because it's too hard for me?
That was one of
Like,
my primary concerns,
like
too,
for
when
you,
I was
Ammar,
thinking about
like,
it.
you would be able to go through it because you actually stayed in Math HL as a courageous, amazing
Sure.
person, okay?
Keep your shirt on.
Foolhardy, some might say.
But for me, I don't know.
Foolhardy,
It's
yeah,
really
I
hard
can
to
see
say.
that, too.
Alright, so the way I looked up about it, so I had two dilemmas. I had the egotistic dilemma,
That's my
and then I had the logical dilemma. And thankfully, my egotistic dilemma was completely wiped and destroyed, swept by my logical dilemma, which is good, because I was between do I want to.
Damn, snapped. Anyway, keep going.
Alright, so this is the thing. So I look at myself and I see I'm really I look there.
Just can't stop
I look and I see that like I'm probably the I think I'm the smartest Arab in the school.
Weird flex, but
Not
okay,
a flex,
buddy.
not a flex.
I was bragging.
It doesn't show. I mean, I'll just be high key here. Like it's like
Can we transition from that,
Guys,
because that's gonna get cut.
eyebrow, bro.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I mean, I'm kind of disappointed, honestly.
He felt like he had to represent.
I feel like I kind of felt like I had to represent, you know, like at least be one dude out there. At least one Arab in like the freaking school has it, and it wasn't HL, but it was on. And at the end of the day, feels bad. So that was one thing I considered. I also considered like, what would my dad think? You know, will they cook me? I mean, they really didn't. Okay. Like initially they kind of cooked me, but then like I showed them some of the problems. They're like, yeah, whatever. and I think you got a point. So that was like another thing. Then I thought, okay, well, I have two options. I can either go forth, like completely ruin all the other things I care about, religion, social life, all that stuff, and just dedicate my life to Math HL. And be have an unguaranteed grade. I don't know if I'm going to get an A in the end of the day because I definitely did put a lot of effort in and I didn't see any results. So that was one concern. And then on the other hand, I could just go to Math SL, see if it'll be easier for me, and it was a lot easier. I managed to do fine, and I ended up managing to get good grades in the day and have the social life and the religious life that I needed. And so that's why I felt like it was the better decision for me to make. And then I also thought like, okay, what would affect me in the long run? Long run, it really doesn't matter. I'm not going into engineering, like most likely. I want to go into like med school and like stuff with the sciences. Even if I didn't do that, I would go like business or something like that. So it really wouldn't have much to do with like advanced mathematics, and that's why I decided, okay, logically, it all adds up to me most likely just going ahead and dropping out, taking it safe, and I don't regret that because I don't know what I would have ended up having with Math HL. I don't know how I would have been religiously, social life. I might just be like a crazy dude at this point.
Well, one thing for sure this year, my social life definitely died.
I think like the only reason that I would take Math HL, I mean, I'm going into medicine as well, and I don't need that advanced math, but the only reason I would take Math HL is to like develop that
The challenge.
extremely good work ethic that you need for Math HL. Like that you need in college as well. So that's the only reason I would actually take an HL math.
Oh yeah, Mark.
You're not leaving, right?
Are you leaving now?
I'm done with it. I'm waiting for something.
Just like 30 seconds. Like,
Let me-
describe your thoughts of your year. Like, why is you?
How was junior year for you? Just give us a
Junior
quick
year?
quote.
Yeah.
I mean, junior year was alright because like we kind of had like different teachers this year, so it's kind of difficult to like adapt to like how they taught it. Kind of. I don't know if
I think you're referring to a couple subjects in particular.
one-
Yeah,
biology,
I'm not sure if
brothers.
you guys-
Hey, don't say names.
Mrs. Beep.
Yes,
That's
he's
what
gonna have
he
to
just said.
beep it
That's
out.
what he just said. He just went, Mrs. Beep.
Bleep it out.
So yeah, it's been alright for me.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Alhareth and Ammar, for coming in today.
All right.
I think
I
Muaaz is
had,
still
like,
with
one
us.
say at the end,
That's
but-
fine. Thank you for putting in your opinion.
Alaikum.
So, we're left with me, Muaaz, Matthew. We're going to keep talking about stuff. Probably going to transition into the SATs now, which were a major component of this year and definitely devastating for a lot of us. I don't know where to start.
First off, I'd say major component. Speak for yourself.
Yeah, that's fair too. So, okay, who wants to... You go ahead, Muaaz.
I wasn't even know what you're talking about.
Take on the SAT.
The SAT. Yes, the SAT consumed most of my most of the beginning of 2019. What I was saying before these dumbasses rudely interrupted me.
I didn't do anything.
Before this one dumbass rudely interrupted me.
The math they show.
I was saying that the SAT, like the standardized test, it consumed most of the beginning of 2019 for me because I was studying between January and April. And yeah, it was like almost every day for 2 hours a day. And I had to work with that. I had to work that around my schedule with schoolwork, with all the other work that I had, family time. I had to sacrifice a bunch of stuff to work on that. And in the end, I saw progress, but my April score was not the greatest. But my March score was bigger. It was higher than my April score. But that's just SAT. It sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
One
thing we can conclude on is that the SAT is a complete pile of shit. Okay?
This is funny because I just remembered that our first episode was about do we need the SAT? So this is quite a nice. We went full circle.
Yeah, I mean it is last episode. So I guess I'll be the odd one out. Because a lot of people have been stressing out about the SATs, or were stressing out about the SATs a lot, and some still are. And yeah, but I really don't see the importance. For me, I didn't really.
I mean, you did really decently though,
despite
really not even studying very much.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I studied some, but the last month I studied half an hour a day on average. But before that, I really didn't. I spent more time in Math HL definitely, and just normal classes, and I'm pretty happy with that decision. So
yeah, I mean, you ended up with a decent score. So,
and even if I had gotten 100 points less, I would have been just as happy because I don't value SAT as much, but we've talked about that before.
College is really good.
Wow,
well, that we've talked about that. That was the very first episode. So I guess I don't know. My take on this, y'all know. You all, know that I've been kind of a fanatic about SATs from the start. If you don't believe me, go to episode 1. You'll see. And even last summer, I spent about 2 hours a day prepping. And then for between January, April, similar to Muaaz, 2 hours a day, 1 to 2 hours a day, 4 hours a day on weekends, blah, 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 the whole jizz. And
whole jizz?
Anyway, but basically I got a score. I mean, I guess it's decent by regular standards, but it's not what I felt like I prepared for.
By American standards, it's 99 percentile. So
but
that's really good.
But regardless, I felt like I could have done better, hence taking the June SAT.
Yeah.
Which some people have been calling me crazy because of my score already, and there's no point, etc. Alhareth.
I bet.
And ACT is the move. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I feel like it was a giant waste of time, unnecessary, complete turnaround from my initial opinion. I like how Canada does it. GPA, school ranking, and extracurriculars is probably a better way to do this.
Yeah. It does take a lot of some people devote a lot of attention to it.
Yeah, I don't think it was worth it at the end of the day. I was scoring I mean, once I got to the range that I was scoring in, it's pretty difficult anyway to improve. Because 1 point, one question off, 2 questions off, there was a major difference, and that's what happened on April as well. The curve was not so pleasant, and one here, one there messed up the rest of the test. So yeah, that's my take on it. I think for juniors and incoming juniors, give it attention, do your best on it. Don't kill yourself over it, please. It's not worth it. Even this is coming from me. And if you ask anybody here, I'm a fanatic. I'm obsessed with working harder every single day. Not necessarily working smarter, but working harder. And I mean, yeah, just do your best on it. Know what you want. Yeah, if it's really worth it to you, go for it. I'm not stopping you.
And don't kill yourself before the test. That one practice test that you might take before, the day before the test, is gonna.
Don't take a practice test the day before the test.
I mean, yeah, I would say like a week before the test, because we took it right when we came back from spring break. Is that right?
I believe so.
Yeah, so
a week after, yeah.
Yeah, a week after. And people were cramming the week before. Honestly, that's not going to do you much good.
Yeah,
I would say study like a month, 2 months before.
Yeah,
and then
study
just-
gradually. It builds
Yeah.
up, especially if you're missing certain skill sets. If it's not just test taking strategies, the best way I'd say to practice for this, for whoever's listening who's an incoming junior, best way to practice for this thing is do as many. There are 16 free official practice tests online. 8 of them are not released by College Board, but they're older tests that you can find on like Reddit or something if you look a little bit. And do those as much as you can,
Yeah,
and learn from your mistakes. That's the
practice
biggest
is
thing.
everything.
Yep. So
just don't care. It works out.
Honestly, don't even waste your money on classes. If you
Oh,
have the
yeah.
motivation,
if you're motivated enough, classes aren't worth it unless you're missing certain skill sets. If you have a deficiency in literally grammar or math, I highly recommend you do take a class because they'll be able to teach you the specific skill sets that you'll need. Otherwise, most of the SAT is literally just understanding how to interpret the test questions and what kind of answers they're looking for you to do.
Yeah.
and they'll find ways to trick you. And every single, you just gotta wait. You just gotta find a way to bypass those tricks, and then you'll be fine.
There's good articles online. Read some of the perfect scorers and what they say. That helped me a lot this year, I think. What do we want to talk about next?
I mean, I was just gonna think about talking about like extracurricular stuff and stuff that's not just.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, junior year was heavily academic. I think we can all agree to that.
Yeah.
A lot of it revolved around the classes, SATs. But, I mean, if we want to get IB specific, CAS felt a little annoying. I'm not going to lie. I do those extracurriculars on my own time regardless. And having to reflect on them and log them and
those are
count every
reflections.
single hours.
No, the online systems just save you. Like, it's so much easier.
Yeah, it is a lot better, but still, I'd rather not write essays for every single little thing I do. On top of which, admittedly, I don't do as much service as creativity or action, and forcing me to do more service isn't going to help really.
Well, I mean, it did because they got more service out of you. So
Yeah, but it's not going to help me. If you want somebody to do more service, at least from my experience, you gotta find a way to personally attract them,
yeah, it's
not
not gonna
force
help
them.
you, but they don't need you to like it. They just need you to help build their school or whatever.
I mean, for me personally, this year CAS wasn't the biggest worry because I got most of my hours done the first month, so it wasn't that much of a worry. I'm probably gonna finish it up in junior summer.
Yeah, I have to figure out how to get more service hours, hence the complaining.
So, like, for me, I didn't really mind it that much, but that being said, I have all my creativity hours done and all my service hours done, but I still have all of my action hours to do, and that could just go to explain my lifestyle. But, yeah, so I have some work to do, but, yeah, I haven't been worried about that much.
Yep. Yeah, you can play tennis with us next fall.
I was playing too.
Yeah.
Ammar still hasn't asked
I
me.
convinced this guy.
Me?
Yeah, I
I
told
did
him
ask
to,
you. I did ask you.
What?
To play tennis with us in the fall.
No. I asked him to tell me, like, whenever you're going to go practice.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Shoot, I forgot. We've only practiced once so far, and that's it.
Yeah, and it wasn't that
Because we've been fasting and everything. I mean, it was okay.
Yeah.
We went till 3:30.
We all suck.
Yeah, it was very rusty,
We've
so.
all decreased still.
You want that going around then?
I mean, I'm hungry. That's all I can say about. No,
You
I'm
want it?
tired.
Those of
I
us,
mean, we can talk.
our Muslim audience, I feel so bad for y'all.
I mean,
We are all.
you're fasting too.
We are all in this together. Okay.
Yep. I mean, I don't want to talk about Ramadan because I mean, the only thing with Ramadan is just sleep schedule is messed up. I've been running on 20 hours awake, 4 hours of sleep for a lot of
sleep
weeknights,
schedule
and
is so
that
messed up.
messes your head up really fast and really badly, and you can't concentrate. I've noticed in math the other day, I did a simple equation. I had like a fraction, and I ended up it was like 3 plus 5 over like 19 or something, and I ended up saying 3 plus 5 was like I don't remember 18 or something, and it was just messy, and it's just I don't know, it's just a distraction. But I don't think it was a major part of junior year. It's a major part of these last couple of months. I think the biggest part is that SAT June will be during Ramadan, but it's gonna happen every year, so I don't think it's too relevant
And
to
IB
junior
testing.
year. IB testing, yeah, that's gonna hurt next
Okay,
year.
so this may or may not make it into the podcast, but do you guys have any like what opinions do you guys have of this school in particular after junior year? that's why
let's cut that out.
Ooh. Well, see, I got this. I don't know if it's a messed up notion, but I always have this notion of like school spirit, and like wherever I go, I'll support. Like if I go there, there's a reason I come here. I drive a long way here. I say that's a lot, but at the end of the day,
He does drive a long way
He
here.
lives in Brownston.
yeah, I drive 35 minutes here, 35 minutes back every day. You can imagine how my dad feels about that, considering he's the one who, because he hasn't gotten me my license yet. He's been sitting in that car for 3 years, there and back, there and back, there and back every single day. So I feel like, I don't know, I think it was worth the sacrifice. Relative to the opportunity that I had where I live, I think this was definitely worth it. I feel a lot more college ready than a lot more guys that I know who are doing regular courses. At the same time, colleges do underappreciate IB way too much, and they really need to look at that again, considering how you need like a 6 or 7 on an HL exam in order to get like 4 measly credits, and they don't even bother taking a look at your SL exams, which are about, I would argue, at least at the same level as an AP exam, and definitely way higher than a CLEP exam. So I don't know, this school, they need to focus a little less politically. I know that's a large part of their mission. I think they need to focus a lot more academically. We've seen a lot of falling test scores recently, and our school has dropped from 42nd in the nation to 83rd this year nationally. You dropped 40 places down. I think you have a problem. And when you looked at the specifics of that
Is that based
ranking,
off the seniors test?
no, that's based off.
Test?
No, I think that was based. Yeah, seniors, correct, or maybe just a school in general, and the PSATs and SATs and everything in general. I think there was a serious math deficiency here. And that's why we dropped so far relative to last year.
What makes you say?
There was a ranking. They put this base quantitatively. Our math score was a lot lower than it was last year.
Okay.
And I think the school needs to do a better job of focusing on academics, because that's why a lot of people come here before they come for any other most reasons. I think this is the biggest attraction here. IB school, top 3 in the state, top 100 in the nation, right? People come here for academics, and they do a great job of academics, but they need to focus more on it, I think.
Honestly, people like Waiha, I think they're trying to shift that focus. Like they're trying to shift that attraction from academics to like.
And I guess it's in the name international, but like
they're trying to
shift that to from like good academics to diversity.
Because now that they have the student body that they want, academically, they want to. I don't know how you want to view it, but like that's my take on it. They just need more academic.
The flaw in that is your student body is always changing. So.
Correct.
1 year and then.
It's like an unofficial magnet school. We're attracting a lot more, especially considering we're like next to Ann Arbor.
There's a newspaper clipping in the office that literally describes Waiha as a magnet school.
It is technically a magnet school because there's a term. I think magnet school is defined that you need to take a test for admittance. Like you need to score a certain amount.
Okay. They just said there's a magnet school that draws from. I thought magnet school was that.
But there's also I think there's other legal requirements to become a technical magnet school. Like the Macomb International is technically a magnet school. They have testing for admittance, like to get in, and only certain scores are allowed in. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I don't know. What's your take on it?
So about the whole political thing, I don't know. I don't really feel too strongly about it. I do think their intentions are in the right place, and like I support what they're trying to do, but I think it could be done better. That's
a lot. That's a lot of.
I think
heart's in the right place.
That's a meme, right? Good
administration. I mean, academically, I think we're very strong.
Bad intention, good execution. That's a meme.
Anyhow, I thought it was.
I'm talking about memes, guys.
Okay. Academically, the school's execution has been very good. They have a lot of good systems, but like with all of the other programs they're trying to do, administration has been kind of sloppy at my time. Like there's not really any good infrastructure. All of the in-school activities they've tried to do have been pretty lackluster. Stugo,
etc.
Talk about Stugo. So yeah, I think they could work on cleaning it up, and it's pretty distracting. But the main thing I wanted to talk about was IB, and I have a lot of feelings about the IB because like I don't know whether colleges I don't know whether IB is that the meme.
I don't know. I think so.
No.
Somebody put a hippo in their car.
Awful taste? Yeah, I think I'll agree.
This is Waiha in a nutshell. You can like put this.
No, okay, come on. Even Waiha didn't intend to look that bad.
Yeah. So with IB, I don't know whether colleges should look at IB, but I think IB has been pretty disappointing because it's sort of the same problem I have with the SAT. Like they keep saying how the school is supposed to prepare you, give you the skills necessary.
I think IB does a pretty good job of that, though.
I don't know.
Yeah, the IB
system. So based on what obviously none of us are college students, right? And this comes up a lot throughout our seasons, right? But
one day we'll be college students, and one day maybe we'll have an episode of college. But
maybe. That's
if I remember Ammar's name.
That's another thing.
That's like 2% chance that's gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'll probably be looking through my contacts list one day and find Matthew. Anyhow,
I don't have iMessage though.
But
so no,
I have you as under your number. Discord. Regardless, I think I don't know. I think the IB sets you up pretty well. College has a lot of writing from what I heard and has a lot more conceptual understanding. And based on like in the literature and the humanities, we see a lot of writing. And even in the sciences and math, you have to write IAs, EEs, whatever. You're very well prepared. I think our ranking for English and reading proficiency was like 99 out of 100 in the nation, which is why we even are still in the top 100.
The problem I have with the IB is like the skills, like it's got good general skills for college, for success. But, like, the specifics are just really strange. Like, I don't know why that is. Like, it might have to do with the fact that it's international, but I don't really think so. It's just that the IB is, like, really weird. Like, compared to the way the way the college system works in America.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole bunch of things that just don't make any sense. Like
CAS?
From like CAS, like the EE, to, like, really small things, like in physics.
They're well, and
Similarly
similarly again, yeah, it's like writing a thesis or some sort for, like, grad school, but well-intentioned, maybe poorly executed.
Yeah, the specifics are just, like, don't make any sense at all. So, I think
class structure and class curriculum needs a little bit of work.
The IB is really specific. Like, there's a whole, like, it's sort of like, as I said before, the problem I have with the SAT, where there's, like, a set way you do things. Like history, like OPCVL. Like, that's the way we do things. Nobody else does that.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
I think it teaches you how to analyze sources, but it doesn't teach you how to analyze sources in college. Like,
yeah, I think it's creating a good foundation.
Yeah.
Because you can also, if you really wanted to and you were really proficient at it, take those OPCVLs from high school and convert them into whatever format your college professors want you to do. Yeah. And it will be a very good essay. Because the IB is looking at the top formats and grinding you on one. I don't know if that's such a good idea to grind you on one. Like, we see the ABCDE formats in literature, and we see OPCVLs in history, and I'm going to keep throwing out a bunch of acronyms because this is the IB.
That's the IB. Right? Even the IB itself is an acronym.
Yeah.
LE.
Oh my God! TOK, AOK, WOK,
TKPPS,
TKPPS,
IAEE, CAS. I mean, I don't know.
Math HL, Math SL,
SLHL. There's just too many acronyms.
MYP,
DP, which is literally just IB.
but only if you're in Spanish or French. So.
There's also the FUCK.
Geez, how are you gonna bleep that? Are you just gonna bleep the whole thing?
Just one.
Okay. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't know. I think it does a good job. I think they need to be a little more varied in their approaches.
Yeah, but I don't know. Small complaint, I guess. I was gonna say something, but I forgot.
Muaaz, you got any topics you want to hit?
Oh no. So like I have like a specific example Mr. Barnmar was talking about. So there's a student in HL physics.
Okay.
It's Henry, but I was gonna cut that up. So he was talking about Henry, and he did very well in HL physics in the IB.
Gee, I wonder why. Anyway.
Yeah, well, but the thing about IB physics, even in HL, is that there's no calculus.
Correct.
College physics is all based on calculus.
Yeah, okay, that is stupid. I 100% agree.
So Mr. Borman was talking about how Henry was talking about how he was really struggling in college, which I think is an interesting anecdote. How, like, you can be very prepared in the IB, but college can't be there.
Yeah, I don't know why they limit your resources like that. Now, that I don't think is very good at all. It's prohibiting you from learning how to use your resources effectively.
Because if they made it calculus-based, they don't do calculus until HL2, SL2.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be able to do it junior year.
Unless
you were in HL.
Correct, but they would have to teach you like basic calculus skills through physics, question mark?
I don't know. Calculus.
I mean, if you know calculus, I believe you should be able to use it. Everybody will know calculus by the IB exam.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the idea, right?
That's sort of what happens. Like, Mr. Barmeyer does explain some calculus, but he only explains it to the people who already know calculus.
Right.
And I don't really...
Calculus has some fundamental... I started learning calculus on my own between all of this, and I gave up because I don't have time for that. If I look at it, I'll do it over the summer just to get ahead in HL2, right? But, point is, there's a lot of fundamentals that it takes a while to grasp, too, as well. And if you don't know those fundamentals, it'd be really hard. You can't teach an integral if somebody doesn't know what a limit is to begin with.
Or what, like, an antiderivative is. You need to figure out what a derivative is.
Antiderivative.
What the hell?
An integral is. An integral finds the antiderivative of a function.
We'll figure that out next year.
SL2 student. Smarter than an ignorant.
I'm in SL2 next year. Yeah.
Are you actually?
You want to talk about that?
Are you actually doing SL2 next year?
You're dropping out?
No, I mean 80% chance.
80% chance. Why?
I don't know. I mean, like, I have a B- right now.
Okay.
And if that stays a B minus, then like 100%, I'm gonna do SL2 next year because senior year, I wanted to sort of like lay back academically because like frankly, senior year matters less academically. It still matters, but it matters less.
After
SATs
college apps are
happening.
in.
Yeah, college apps are in. I already did the SAT. I already got junior grades, and we'll see how those turn out. But so what I wanted to do with senior year is I just wanted to do things I wanted to do. I wanted to like do clubs I wanted to do. I wanted to do classes I wanted to do. And if I did HL2 next year, I feel like I would have way less time on my hands, and I feel like I'd have to devote a lot of time to HL, and I just didn't really see any benefit.
I just feel like it wasn't worth the struggle of going through HL1 if you're not going to take HL2.
I don't know.
Yeah,
And I also heard, mark me if I'm wrong, but HL2 is easier than HL1 because it's less abstract based and it's more, oh crap, we need to teach you calculus pretty fast in a year, and we got to cover like what AP/BC Calc students are doing.
That's why I chose HL2. I want to do HL2 next year because I already have some insight in calculus, so it should be a little bit like easier for me. But I don't know.
Honestly, that's what I should have
If
done.
I can get into HL2,
I should have done SL2.
What you should have done?
But I already did HL1.
If you did that, right, but what you should do at this point is I recommend this, I don't know, but judging that you grinded your butt off for junior year so that you could stay and work hard in HL1, go to HL2, and if it's not SL exam, or if it's not what you like, you can always take SL2.
Study. That's why I'm not doing. That's why I'm doing HL2. I can't live myself if I do study.
I might do that because none of the clubs really start until October anyway. So
Science Olympiad is going to start from the get-go.
Oh, well, yeah. I can do science. I don't know if I have time to do... Yeah, that's another thing. I don't know if I have time to do all the things I want to do and HL at the same time. And, like, another big consideration was the HL exam. Like, the math exam. I'm not going to do the HL exam.
Okay, that's fair. What I've heard from these guys is that their SL paper was... that I'm pointing at Muaaz, by the way.
Yeah, me too.
The first paper.
The first paper was not at all what they expected. It was a lot harder than what they learned in SL2, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And paper 2 was fairly easy. Yeah. So we've already looked at paper 1s and paper 2s for Math HL, and they looked fairly doable by our standards.
They're going to be insane when you...
But hearing that from them is starting to scare me a little bit, considering that, I looked at the test. Once I learned calculus, I should be able to do this. The other question that we've seen, when he gives us IB problems on the board, assuming that we already learned a skill set and he's not expecting us to figure it out like he does currently.
It's literally his class.
His class starts like this, okay? He gives us an IB problem.
Yourself, right? Basically.
Yeah,
but he literally just...
He gives us an IB problem, says, okay, this problem should take you 9 minutes, I'll give you 7 because you guys are fresh with this material. And it's something we haven't done before, okay? Like, at all. It'll be like Bayes' theorem. We have to prove Bayes' theorem without knowing what Bayes' theorem is.
Yeah. Wow. And then, like the one we did today was about binomial probability, even though we...
Yesterday,
even though we didn't do it yet. So.
Yeah, exactly. We were trying to do binomial combinations
without knowing...
without knowing what binomial combinations were, nor realizing that there was a calculator function literally that did it for us.
So I hasn't told anybody that.
Probability is all in the calculator, basically.
Well, that's helpful once you know where you're supposed to be looking or what you're supposed to be looking for. Are you out, Muaaz?
We've been going for 40 minutes.
I mean, we're having a good conversation. And it's the last episode.
Yeah. Satish said he was playing basketball, he would come at 3.
He's not gonna come.
3:35.
Liar.
Well, I guess he missed the last chance.
Yeah. You guys want to talk about... You want to wrap it up by talking about senior year? What do you guys think?
Do you want to talk about advice or senior year or both?
We can do both.
All right, you want to hit advice first?
We sort of already did it, though.
Let's go like specific. One piece of advice per person, and we'll talk about senior year expectations.
Okay.
All right, sure. Muaaz, you want to start? Okay. I mean, man, I don't know. Honestly, for incoming juniors, the best piece of advice I can give is know yourself. Know what you want to do. Know how you want to do it. Know what matters to you. Decide your courses. Decide what you prioritize based on that. If your thing is not math, but you're in Math HL because your friends are in Math HL, don't. Just period.
Yeah.
Like, don't.
Please.
If if you're planning on taking the ACT, don't kill yourself over the SAT when you see what your friends' scores are. You already know your priority is the ACT. However, that doesn't mean throw yourself under the bus and say, oh, well, I can't do anything about this. I'm just not smart, etc. You're smarter than you are. Yeah. A lot of people get undercredited here because they're surrounded by so many other smart people who are seemingly performing a lot better than they are. Let me give you the reality. Everybody's struggling underneath, all right? Don't let anybody get to your head like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my little bit of advice.
I'd agree with that.
I think that was one of the major parts of this year, too, for me, was my social life died part of the way through, especially with certain individuals, because I started getting the notion into my head that I wasn't smart anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Gamartin directly addressed that. He said he made HL. He said, "Did you hear about what Mr. Gamartin said?" It was like a week ago. He said basically he made HL too hard this year. Yeah. He said,
and he addressed that, you know, all of you guys who are in here at this point, unless you're like a crazy good con artist, you are extremely good at math, and you have to assure us that we're not all stupid.
Yeah, he's saying that all of us who dropped out are retarded.
Well, you weren't there to hear him. So.
Jesus.
Okay, so advice from me. I don't know. I don't really have anything to add. I'd just say, like, just SAT, just like study a little bit, but don't devote more time to SAT than
I want to issue a warning with that.
Well, yeah, I mean,
do what you think matters to you. At the end of the day, with that, if SATs matter to me a lot. Okay, for it's a personal thing at the end of the day. I think
I'll pick something else because that's opinion. But I would say grades matter more than SAT.
Sure, yeah, you can say that. Grades would matter. You think protect your GPA. You've worked hard on your GPA. Muaaz, you got one?
Well, for me, if I could go back and do something else, I would probably try the ACT in the beginning of the year.
Yes, do both.
Yeah,
I have not done both, and you will find a vast difference.
Yeah, if you do both, you can know okay, this one I know that I can do better at than the other one. If I took the ACT, I could see maybe I could improve more on the ACT, get a better score on the ACT than I would on the SAT. So I'd rather have done that.
Go, keep going. What?
What did you say?
I just said I have a real one now.
Okay. Yeah.
So basically, just try both the SAT and the ACT.
Don't be like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's yours, Matthew?
Okay, so I would say something that I've struggled with this year, which I think I should have done better, was communicating with teachers. I don't know about other people, but that's something I have been really lacking with, and I think it's pretty helpful. Just with having connections is nice.
Yeah, just even talking to a teacher makes a big difference.
There are some classes for math, it is impossible to do that class if you try to do it by yourself.
Yeah, you cannot. You
literally
have to use your resources.
Impossible. It's designed to be impossible. So use your resources you have, and not.
It's a major portion of why I was able to get the grades I was in Math HL is because I was in Mr. Gilmartin's room pretty much every week or every other week, getting continuous help for hours on end. Retake everything if you need to retake it.
If you have a retake opportunity and you have a bad grade and you're not satisfied, retake it because you will not get the opportunity again. Okay.
Use your opportunities now because you're probably not going to get them in college.
I think we should wrap up.
All right, sure. We're going to talk about senior expectations. No.
Mom's calling me.
Okay, sure. I don't even know what to say. It's been a long year. You guys have any final words that you want to put in before I wrap up?
Here's to the next one.
Here's to the next one. Yeah, I like that.
Live your life. Don't screw up your social life just because of work. Live your life, guys.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. It's been a fun time. Please subscribe even if you're done with listening to the series. We like those numbers.
Nah, just don't subscribe.
Just don't even bother. Comment below.
No, do subscribe, guys. It's very important.
Subscribe, like, comment.
The podcast is over.
So what? We still have
and pay attention in the next couple of years for surprise episodes. Hint, hint.
Remember who we are.
All right, signing out. I'm Ammar.
I'm Muaaz.
I'm Matt.
Guest speaker.
And this is Our Side of the Coin.